Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth. Flipper, thanks for joining us. Today I've got a great topic, something that I've been seeing coming up over and over and over again in my emails, in my direct messages on Instagram, on YouTube in the comments, as well as on Facebook in the comments. Check out our SupplyHut back there, by the way. Look at all that stuff's been processed today. If you have a decent system, it gets processed pretty quick. That's part of what I want to talk about, because there's something I just get sick and tired of resellers saying, because I don't think it's necessarily true. I think there's one single thing that really makes the difference for resellers out there, and I think most of you agree, but I want to get your feedback on it. Let's go take a look. All right, y'all, I picked today for a specific reason to talk about this topic, because I didn't have any big sales today. And so people are constantly telling me, you know, why don't you sell items that are worth more money? And I'm going to address that topic today. I sell a bunch of items that are, I sold a $155 item yesterday. Okay. Today we only have 4 items. That's it, going out of here for over 20 bucks, I think. Right? So it's not a huge sales day, but we're still going to make a decent amount of money today because of those other things. And everybody's talking about, you know, how much is your average sales price? And I think that's important. And I think people should pay attention to it. However, I think there's something more important, far more important than your average sales price on eBay. Let's actually start right here. This is one of those $20 items, although I'm giving a discount, a refund. This was $29.95. And somebody asked if they could have an offer. I can't remember what it was. I got to go check. And I said, yeah, go ahead, just buy it, and I'll send you the refund, because I had sent out offers already, 5% off, and it wouldn't allow me to send it out. So this is Triclops. It's got the weapon, and it's out of here for somewhere between $20 and $30, I believe. We're going to add that to our I Have the Power Motu total. So far spent $220, $830 out after fees, after shipping. This one's headed out to Michael. Michael, thank you. He says him and his daughter watch us on YouTube, so I appreciate that. And he says, thanks for all you do. Michael, thank you. I appreciate you for watching. So there is one of those over $20 items. I'm going to grab another one really quick here. That one was to a viewer. Today we had quite a few viewer sales, so thank you. Yesterday I think we had 1 viewer sale out of 19 sales, and today we have quite a few more, so I appreciate that. And that'll actually be part of my topic today. I'm not sure I can even reach this. I think I can. This has got, there it is right there. This glove right here, this is a Mizuno glove. We bought this with all that catcher's gear that went out of here for $155 yesterday. This one went out, sold pretty darn quick. It's the right season. And it sold for $29 plus shipping. Actually, I ran inside. Turner's out here doing this little scooter thing. There's Pepper. Come on in, Pepper. Hoverboard, sorry. Scooter thing. It's a hoverboard, he said. Oh my goodness. This shirt is awesome, y'all. I just love selling this stuff. Single stitch, vintage bike, made in the USA. This thing is like singing Rocky Top right at you. Love, love, love this shirt. Came from that Tennessee sale. And I just love it. And it is the third item over 20 bucks. And we're going to get into our topic. We'll do one more item, and then we're going to get into our topic a little bit in just a minute. By the way, that one sold for $21.80 plus shipping. Almost forgot that one was to a viewer as well. Charles, love watching your videos. My reselling business has been a little slow lately, but hopefully it'll pick back up. Also bought a couple things from your website. Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much. And I hope to get an Enaman to help boost my sales. Thank you. He says, thank you for all you do for the reselling community. God bless and go Vols, is what he says. Well, you know, you don't have to get that Enaman, but, you know, you could get the Enaman booster. I think there's 10 of these still available. These are sold out, and there's a bunch of those. After I mentioned these the other day on the video, I went and put them on a 30% off sale, and they sold. And my listing said they were pairs, and I did not put anthropomorphic in the listing, which probably explains why they didn't sell. And that little salt and pepper shaker, and they're connected, which is a little odd, because I guess you could do the salt out that way and the pepper out this way. But I'm going to use this to kind of use it as a springboard to talk about our sales, because nobody, well, I'm not going to say nobody. There are people out there who say you shouldn't sell something unless it's like 40 bucks. And that might be true for some people, and I agree with that for some people, depending on where you live and some other factors in sourcing and the kind of things you can find. But it is not true for everybody, in my opinion. These, after going 30% off, sold out for about $9, $8.90 plus shipping. So let's talk about that one thing, in my opinion, that matters far more than your average sales price. Now, your average sales price definitely makes a difference, okay? I'm not saying it doesn't make a difference, but there are so many other factors that come into it that this, to me, is a better metric. The better metric to me is how much money are you making per hour of work. That makes a lot more sense to me than any other metric, because some people's time is worth more than other people's time, right? Like your time is best spent right here, right? And if you've been watching my buddy Dave, NC Picker, NC Flipper, our podcast buddy, Trash to Cash podcast buddy, he has been talking an awful lot lately about average sales price. And in his situation, I think this is absolutely key for him bumping up the money he's making. And I think it's key for most people. But I think this is something that you should do every once in a while and really gauge how much money. It's why I talk about my reseller Genie from time to time as well. If you want to see how much money you're making and then calculate that by how much time you're putting into it, I think that's a good thing to look at. There's other factors as well, which you hear me talk about all the time. Everybody's time isn't worth the same amount. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to me, but I worked in a job where I made $42,000 a year before I quit, okay? So my time is worth far less than, say, Dave's, because Dave makes a lot more money than I do, right? So there's an opportunity cost from walking away from it. People that have a spouse outside the home that's working, bringing in money, having insurance, all that stuff, and you would be out there working a $30,000 a year job, your time is worth less. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I'm saying that reselling is an option for those people. If you're making $200,000 a year and you walk away from that because you think you can make $200,000 a year reselling, it's going to be hard. Where you live is also key. If you live near Rocky Top, the cost of living there is way, way, way cheaper than living right there. So, you know, if you can make $50 an hour living here, you're going to make it. You know, well, $50 an hour, a lot of places you're going to make it, let's face it. But, you know, it does matter where you live. You're living in New York City, you know, $50 an hour better be what you're making, or you're going to be struggling to some degree. And, you know, if you're living where I live, y'all, I have a nice house. I have a nice piece of property here. There's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. There's a huge finished basement. I mean, it's not like a mansion or nothing, but it's a nice house. And this house would go in this market for somewhere just over $200,000, right? If this house was in that market, it'd be $1 million house. So where you live makes a difference. And keep that in mind when you look at these numbers and you see the type of reselling that I do. Let's look at those numbers. Now, I purposely picked this item right here because this is like worst case scenario. I had to sell this at 30% off just to get it out the door. It's a low cost item. It isn't even these, right, where they're up into the 20s or almost 30 bucks. I'm going to use this one in a second because it's a better example. But this is salt and pepper shaker, paid 50 cents. So this right here is going to be the number. Got $13.29 coming in, cost 50 cents, fees $1.94, shipping cost, and that includes the material here. It includes the SupplyHut box, SupplyHut.com, code Commonwealth, 5% off. See how I did that? American Bubble Boy, bubble wrap right there. Go check the link below. Look at that. That's pretty skilled. Look, I even mentioned my reseller Genie too. Here's American Bubble Boy. Look, I'll throw this one in there for whoever bought that. $2.50 off. So we have all of this material. That includes the penny or whatever it cost you for this thing as well. All of that wrapped in. Now, what's not wrapped in on this is like gas. Okay, that's not in here. So just keep that for the record. The reason I don't put that in here is because of the tax write-off for mileage is far more than the gas actually costs. So you're making money when you're out there traveling. And there's tons of ways, speaking of my reseller Genie, if you keep track of everything, to write off way more of the profits you actually make than you would imagine. So I don't pay taxes on the number I'm going to give you. I'm going to actually give you how much money I make each year in reselling here in a minute. So this one right here is going to be $6.40 profit after fees, after shipping, after expenses, $6.46. And it's a terrible example. And it is still almost, not quite, like 48% profit here. And this is a terrible example. And so how long did it take me to do this? Now, I love sourcing, so I don't normally put that in the equation. But if you're being honest, you need to put that in the equation. So how much do I source? And I'll talk about how much time I spend in a week. But to source an item like this, you know, it might be a minute or two in sourcing, because look at Wallen here. What are you doing over there? I'll get you a treat. To give you an idea of processing time, we brought all the stuff in. I was only out for 2 hours this Saturday. We brought it all in. A couple hours later, everything is processed with pictures, everything. We bought a ton. So something like this, you know, when I bought these, there was a ton of these things, and it was just assembly line, picture, 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 picture. So to do pictures on something like this, took no testing, took no cleaning, and then to list the item and then to ship the item, we might be 4 or 5 minutes in. Add a minute to that for sourcing, 2 minutes, something. You can easily say we're 6 minutes into an item like that. 6 minutes, so 10 times makes an hour. So 10 times $6.46. You're making $64.60 an hour. You're making 60 bucks an hour. If you want to round that down just to add in for other things, because there are other things that you have to do. You have to do bookkeeping. You have to do cleaning from time to time. So there are other things with reselling. Look at this dog. I just gave you a treat. You don't need to go get more. So if you want to make that 50 bucks an hour, you can make that 50 bucks an hour. There you go. Now, before I talk about the overall picture a little bit more and the overall numbers, let me show you this item right here. This is a Marvin the Martian keychain. And you want to talk about money per hour, because this is one listing times hundreds of keychains. And so even though it's only $11.95 or something like that, you're making a ton of money per hour because you only had to list it once. It's only just ship, 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 ship. And these are super easy to ship. Look at this dog, y'all. This is from Brian Big and Fun. And this is, I think, an adult beverage, so you probably don't need to be getting into that. I'll have to show you all that later. By the way, that went to Stephanie. Stephanie, thank you. It was $10.95, and she says she loves the Trash to Cash podcast, so we appreciate it. I'm going to have to kick this dog out of here. Look at this dog. Nothing but trouble. All right, bud. You got to go. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. I know. Sad, huh? Come on. Time to go. There you go. There's a good dog. You want to come in, Sophie? We're trading dogs here. Whoop, whoop. Oh, my goodness. I've said this before. I put in about 15 hours a week reselling on average through the course of the year. If you average in the sourcing and the listing and the packaging, I put that much in. Now, I put a lot more time in to, YouTube and all that stuff, talking about it. I mean, look, I've done 5 minutes worth of work and it's taken me a half an hour at this point. So, and then I'll edit the video. But you get my point. I don't put in a ton of time. And I think I do pretty darn good profit-wise per year. Now, keep this in mind. My wife also helps me. So let's say 25 hours a week we put in together into running this reselling business. And our money per hour is perfectly fine. I make more than I did as a high school history teacher, significantly more. Let's say easily I make $50,000 a year net profit off of reselling, working 25 hours a week. That might not be enough for some people. It is enough to scratch out a living where I live here in the middle of nowhere, Virginia. And you know what's more than that? We do this in 25 hours a week. If you needed more, you could put more. A lot of resellers put in 50, 60 hours a week because it's worth it to them to have the freedom whenever they want and not have to work for somebody else. And then, of course, there are those who just do it very part-time. They might be working 60 hours a week at another job. Got a message from somebody not long ago when I said I put in 15 hours a week. They're like, I put in 5 hours a month, and I like to make $200. I'm like, that's 40 bucks an hour. That's not bad. It's very, very doable. And it's even doable in this method, this way. And I've often said it's not the right way for everybody, but it just depends on your circumstances. How much money do you need? Does your spouse work? Where do you live? What are your expectations for life? I don't have a new car. I probably will never, ever own a new car my entire life. I just don't do those things. We didn't have TV here, cable TV, forever because I don't want to pay the bill. We do now because my dad comes over too much. He's like, you got to get TV. Did I even tell you how much this sold for? Judas Priest, $11.50 plus shipping. Now we're going to run the numbers on this Tennessee shirt because I want to make a point about how much, what percentage are you making on a sale. But before I do that, I know there's people grumbling out there saying, but you sell to viewers, and that's true. So let's say 20% of the sales are to viewers. Let's lop that 50,000 number and let's just say 40,000 in 25 hours or less. It would be less because we would eliminate all the viewer sales stuff, which is also work, but whatever. Okay. And so let's say it's $40,000, but then let's bump that up to 15 hours, 15 more hours. Then you're back up close to $60,000 doing it this way. But the reason it works for me, there's actually two reasons why it works. And I want to talk about them using this shirt. Let's run the numbers on old Rocky Top here. If you remember, I bought this at a sale. He was charging $0.25 for each item that we were buying. And we actually got it cheaper than that. We got them because we bundled it all up together. So this is really a 20-cent item. And if you also remember, we sold, let me put it over here, that Richard Petty shirt that we got for 20 cents at that sale for $700, okay? So let's look at the numbers on this. And that's, you know, obviously rare. But this one right here, here's the numbers, $27.35. By the way, this is, the taxes aren't included in this whatsoever, okay? So don't say, well, you forgot to take out a tax. That's already taken out. Cost, 20 cents. Fees, $3.99. Shipping, and that's a key right here as well. Shipping is $4.20. That's $4.09 for shipping, 11 cents for this bag right here. $18.90 and 96 cents profit. Profit right there on a $27.35 sale. $18.96 profit. That is almost just a tick under 70% in profit. Now, to be honest, 70 cents is pretty rare for me even, but it is not rare to be around 60% at all. And so even this terrible item was almost at 50%. This is almost at 70%. So to make 60% profit for me is not hard. I do it all the time, every single day. So don't be fooled by these people. You know, I sell $200,000 a year. Okay, what's your profit margin? Are you making 20%? Then you're making $40,000. Where my gross number is a little over 100, but you know, think about that for a second. If you're selling $200,000 and you're making a 25% profit, 25% profit, and there's plenty of people out there doing it, and there's two reasons why, then you're making $50,000 a year. If you're selling $100,000 and you're making 50% profit, you're making the same amount. I actually make more of a margin than that. And so that's why I say I'm over $50,000, even though the gross sales might be hovering around 100. So what's the big difference? There's two reasons here. Cost of goods. I buy stuff super cheap because I buy at garage sales. I rarely buy at thrift stores. I rarely buy anywhere except for dirt cheap items. Now, I do occasionally. Fees is the other reason. I don't do promoted. Right? And I'm not saying it's the wrong thing to do. I'm saying for me, it's the right thing to do. And is it a slower sell-through rate? Yes, but it doesn't bother me as much because I've got land, I've got space, I've got sheds, I've got whatever. So it just depends on your model. If you don't do promoted, if you buy stuff dirt cheap, your profit margin will almost undoubtedly be 55% or higher. And there's a lot of folks out there where their profit margin, after they pay all their expenses, after they pay their 10% in fees, plus their 2-3% in processing, plus their 11% more in fees, plus their cost of goods that are closer to 20 to 30%, 40% of what the item sells for, their profit is far, far less than their gross, where ours is actually a pretty good percentage of the gross. So there's a couple things that I think people should keep in mind before they start criticizing other folks. And a lot of you out there are in different circumstances as well. So there you go. If you want to make a lot of bang for your buck, I think this is the number you should look at. How much per hour? Think about that. $18.96 on this item. How long did this take? Again, this is a max 6-minute item. that is almost $190 an hour. Now, I realize it's not that. You got to throw in sourcing and all the other stuff that goes with it. But it doesn't take that many of these items to make a slow day like today still an okay day. That's over $25 in profit. These two items right here, over $25 in profit with no cleaning whatsoever at all. I didn't have to clean and scrub shoes. You know, I didn't have to test electronics. That's $25 profit in like 10, 12 minutes. Easy. If you've been watching the show a long time, you know I love Gordon Lightfoot. I know I catch grief for liking Gordon Lightfoot from Dave and Carrie, but hey, what do you know? But I don't like his album covers, and so I'm not keeping this one to go up with the other ones. Plus, he's 70s, and I like the 80s covers better. Better colors. Any rate, he's still out there performing, y'all. He's like in his mid-90s, I think. And I tried to go twice, and he like fell and broke a hip or something. His wrist. Any rate, Gordon Lightfoot, $10.50. I gotta look at these pictures here. Look at, no, that's not him. That's the people in the band. Plus shipping. And it went to Jimmy, and he says, sorry I sent a message in the wrong location, but he also put one in the right location. So Jimmy, thank you. And it says here, and I'm so sorry about this, he says, music is about all I have left now. And he says, read my other post and you'll understand what I'm saying. So you must have sent it in the regular messaging system. So Jimmy, I will try to find that and read it, and I'm sorry to hear about that. And I hope you enjoy this record. And that's the other thing about selling what we sell. I talk about all the time. You know, people are in different situations, and some people can only do so much. I don't know if you resell at all, Jimmy, but we do appreciate you, and I hope you enjoy Gordon Lightfoot. Been working in the eBay cave a little bit, so it's still a little bit messy in there. I'm trying to make it into a little room where Turner can play some vintage video games. Hadn't been working out so far, so maybe we'll scratch the project. This is similar to this in that it was $1 and it sold for $24 plus shipping. So the profit margin is going to be very similar to wherever I put it. At any rate, you get the point. 24 bucks plus shipping. A lot of folks said they missed out on these. I've been getting the message this was the last one that sold, and I got messages after the fact saying, hey, you got any more? And actually, apparently I do. Maybe I put the quantity wrong. Maybe I'll have to list one more. I kept one for myself. I thought maybe I'd put it in here or out there in the cabin, because I like them. They're kind of vintagey. Like, I like that Commonwealth. If you're out there still watching and you sent me that sign, that is one of my favorite pieces in this shed. I absolutely love that one. And that Virginia one back there is cool too. At any rate, thank you for that. This one sold for $14.20 because we did a 5% offer on this one plus shipping. Paid $1 into $14.20 plus shipping. There's going to be around a $10 profit on that one. And that went to James. Hi, Kevin and family. This sign is going in my eBay room. See, there you go. That's why I kept one myself. My husband and I, so it's not going to James. My husband and I are viewers and also have been selling for many years. We are up_the_attic_staircase. Up the attic staircase. I like that name. We love your show, but wish you wouldn't walk by the Little Tykes doll houses. Oh, I see what you're saying. LOL, piece them out. That's true. I've picked them up before, actually, and I've regretted it because I hate shipping that dollhouse. And then I walked by one in a particular sale, and it had all the pieces in it, and that was a big mistake. The pieces and parts of things sometimes are, well, most of the time are worth more than the whole. And so I know exactly which sale you're talking about, and so I do appreciate that. And maybe I'll pick it up next time, especially if all the pieces are in there. Another small, easy item. This is under a 5-minute deal because it's even quicker. 2 pictures, list it and go. Pictures were easy. We just did hundreds of them in just an hour or two and then listed them like crazy. So $8 plus shipping. Next one is an item I just love to sell, and it's hats. And I have so many hats, y'all. I need to get them up and posted. I've got 2 bins here of hats, but I've got more inside. And this is the hat that sold. That one is actually in good shape. It's been at the bottom of the pile. Oak Ridge Dodge. Love that hat right there. That one went to a viewer, $10 plus shipping. And it went, I don't see a name, Frog Level Market. Frogmar. Oh, I like it. Love the show. Been watching you for years. I wear these old hats every day. Reseller since '03. That's pretty close to me. I think I started in 01. I know you love quotes. Here's one that came from an old North Carolina tobacco farmer. Do what makes you happy. I like it. And that's true within reason, of course. All, everything in moderation. I like to have a blue moon every once in a while, and it makes me happy. But if I had 10 of them, ain't nobody'd be happy. The 8x6x4 box from SupplyHut makes me happy, because that's what that hat's gonna go in, because it's not high. It's already smashed down anyways. So thank you. And thank you to Matthew for buying plans for the Commonwealth Picker shipping table over on CommonwealthPicker.com. Y'all, I just had to turn the AC on back there, which means like garage sale season is here. Hey, don't forget, I said this last episode, it is Q2. So if you have an eBay coupon to use for your free shipping materials, because you have that store above, don't forget to go over there and do that. The Little Bible. I don't even know where these came from, which makes me think it's a Maryland deal, unless my wife picked them up somewhere. But my guess is it isn't. So the Little Bible. Those actually sold for 13 bucks. If you can believe that. Pretty cool. Middleton Doll Company. That is awesome. I wonder what's in it. Like, it's obviously not a whole Bible. Ezekiel, it's just taking different like quotes out of different books. That's kind of cool. It's got like maybe the most famous one from each book. That's pretty cool. So it even has Old and New Testament stuff. Look at that. There's the New Testament. Very cool. I like that. 13 bucks for that. It's free ship. So, just say it's $9 plus shipping. And there you go. And should I ship that media mail? It's obviously going out at the 4-ounce rate. So if it's close, we're going to ship it first class. It's going to California. Well, I'm probably going to ship it first class either way. It just doesn't seem like it's much point to do media mail on it. Sold another record. This is Loverboy. And it went to Jason. Jason, I think you're a viewer. It says repeat buyer, so I'm gonna go with the fact that you're a viewer. Look at those pants, y'all. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Gotta love it. $9.50 plus shipping. I'm actually grabbing something from inside the eBay cave here that I can't believe sold. I forgot I even had these. So even this doesn't meet my requirements that I'm talking about. I might break even on this thing. I'm probably gonna make like 10-15 cents on it, to be honest with you. But if you buy cheap things, and the reason I bought this is because there was multiples, and this is a replacement blade for whatever this thing was. And so they had the replacement blades, but then they had the actual smudger thing, and so I bought it as a huge lot, and I'm like, yeah, I'll sell them off one at a time, make $4 a piece. Well, what's happened is they didn't all sell, and then prices of shipping went up, and then they got old enough that I did a 30% off 30% off sale, and they sold for like $5, I think, somewhere right around there. And so after shipping and fees here, I might make a quarter on it, maybe. But I am kind of glad, because somebody picked this out just so they could get a shout out for their boy, Colin. So Colin, thank you. Actually, I'm going to thank Clinton, but I'm going to say hello to Colin out there, who is your son. So Colin, how you doing out there, bud? Your dad just got you a shout out. And he says, have a great night, Clint. So Clint, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy this thing, even though I know you're not going to use it. All right, y'all, we've got everybody. We've even got Bubba in here. He's signing autographs. Somebody wanted Bubba's autograph. So there you go. Nobody wanted Bubba's girlfriend's autograph, though. They asked me if Bubba's girlfriend had a name. I said yes.
Bubba's girlfriend.
Yeah, I didn't tell him what the name was. All right, Turner. Turner's got a joke for us, little Commonwealth comedy. What do you got?
Oh, wait. Sorry.
What you got?
I got... Wait.
You got a joke or not? What's your joke?
Cool. How do you know the ocean is friendly?
How do you know the ocean is friendly? I don't know. How do you know?
Because it raves.
I like it, buddy. All right, Reagan's up next, and she's going to tell us who bought stuff out of the CommonwealthPicker.com store.
Good girl.
Everybody else left. After I did all the shipping tonight, all the hard work doing all the shipping, all by myself. Nobody helped me do any shipping tonight. George Mama did all the shipping tonight. I didn't do one darn thing. They were all small, so that was cool. All right, Reagan, we have a bunch of stuff that we need to thank people for. Mostly the stickers, but there's a bunch of other stuff in there too. So thank you to everybody. Again, we haven't read the messages. We're just going to read the names, so forgive us. There's just a bunch of them this time. Go for it. What do you got?
John, Stacy, Leah, Tom, Chucky, Marianne, Adam, Sarah, Michael.
Okay. Adam, Sarah, and Michael. I think this is Adam Pittsburgh Picker. I'm not sure. Sarah's in there as well. Although Adam may not be that Adam. I'm not sure. And that's Daily Cabbage. And then Mike is our buddy Death Pile Picker. And he bought 5. And he told me specifically where to give these away. And I will announce that coming up soon. So Mike, thank you. That was really, really nice of you to do that. Check him out on, I guess you got a YouTube too, don't you, Mike? And Instagram as well. So thank y'all, and keep going. There's more.
Kevin, Richard.
Oh, Richard is Otnip Drop Flips. Thank you, Richard. He's the one who is a admin on Garage Sale Nation Facebook group for us. Thank you.
Robert, Anton, Rodney, David, Megan, Roman.
Roman, our buddy Roman. Can't wait to see you at Reseller Rally, Roman. That's Anytime Picker on YouTube. Thank you, Roman.
Rowdy, Dean.
No,
Dana?
it's not Rowdy. It's Randy.
Randy, sorry.
Randy.
I can't read him.
You can't read my writing, can you?
Dina or Dana.
Dina,
Daniel.
yep. And Daniel, that's Dan in Demand. Our buddy Dan in Demand. So thank you. He loves the stickers, boy. He's giving me suggestions for the next one. I love it. All right, is that it?
No. Tracy, Courtney, Andrew, Cheryl, Michael, Jason, Manuel, Antonia.
I think that's right.
Klaus.
And Klaus. Okay.
Klaus.
That's very, very cool. Thank you, Reagan. Thank you for all your hard work with Bubba's girlfriend the other day as well.
Bye, and don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com.
Hi, y'all. We are in the Supply Hut here. I want to make one more point and then ask you to do me a favor. For those of you who know a little bit about Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I want to show you something, ask you if I made a good buy or not, and I think I'm going to put this out on auction. I think is what I'm going to do here. So let me show you this really quick. First point is these type of things, right? This could be the thing that zaps you a little bit. I got lucky on these because there's no corrosion on these Radica games. And, you know, there's not a ton of money in these. So if you're paying, you know, 50 cents for them and you bring them home and there's corrosion and you got to clean it all out and whatever, and then you're into this thing for 10 to 15 minutes, then you might not be making enough money to make it worth your time. So it's just something to think about. I can't help it because I actually enjoy taking these off and putting batteries in them and playing them and just seeing if they work. I just like it. Because what's the other alternative? It gets thrown away and it's like, I don't know. I just think it's cool. Anyway, that's something to think about. You know, time is key. If you're going to clean something, test it, you know, your ROI's got to be pretty good, your time that you put into it. All right, here are the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. There's about 400 Yu-Gi-Oh cards here. I have no idea, other than the fact that I saw first edition, and I saw those on quite a few cards. So I'm like looking at these things thinking, okay, should I don't even want to tell you what I spent, because I don't know if it's good or not. But we're going to auction them off. You'll see it on a sale. I hear Turner yelling at me here. And he's out here somewhere. Is he out? Can you see him up there? I don't know if you can see him up there or not. It's kind of a glare coming in. He'll come out here in a second. Anyway, all right, I'll go get him. He's still screaming at me here. We're going to go watch a baseball game in a minute. What's up, bud? We got to go. All right, give me about 2 minutes and we'll go. UVA is playing a baseball game today versus Liberty, so he want to go see UVA play at Liberty. So we're going to go do that. So here you go. Roulette Spider. I don't know anything about these. I have sold some in the past, but I just lotted them up and sold them. So if you know anything about these, let me know. I was just figuring these got to be worth, you know, I'm just worst case scenario, it's $1 a card, right? That's what I'm thinking anyways. If they're first edition, and so you just put them in a lot and auction them off. And if there's anything good in there, it'll drive the price up. The condition was okay. Some aren't good. See, that's not good. But that one looks great. So, you know, it's just kind of a hit and miss. Cyber Twin Dragon. See if there's anything that stands out to any of you people. And if anybody knows anybody who knows anything about these, send them a message and tell them to come check it out. Give them a timestamp. See, that one's terrible condition. It's a good card, though, I think. I think that was a good one in the last one we did. Blue Eyes White Dragon. And it says first edition, but it's got a crease right down the middle of it. At any rate, I'll go through a couple more pages and then I'll stop here. Sniffer Dragon. There's Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. So, I think I'm just going to throw them up there on an auction. And people can bid on them and see if I can make my money back. I'm pretty certain I can. If you're knowledgeable out there, what would you have paid at a garage sale for these? I am very curious to know. And there you go. I'm trying to get them all in here. Might have to pause it if you're looking carefully. I think I got one more page. Dark Magician. Spellcaster. There you go. Let me know. Hey, I can't let another show go by without saying thank you for this right here. Check it out. Susquehanna Picker. How cool is that? I am going to use that. I might use that on the Trash to Cash podcast right there. That is super cool. Send me a DM. Talk to me about where you get those from, because I like that size. And this sweet vintage Phillies hat, which is really cool. They're trying to get me to come up to a Phillies game when they play the Angels. And they're doing a pretty darn good job of it. So, very, very cool. Looks like there's another message here. Go Phils. Justin. I love it. Oh, rookie content creator. He says, been reselling for 12 years. Look at that. And he's got QR codes everywhere. Man after my own heart. Absolutely love it. So thank y'all for that. I appreciate it. All right, now it's just me and these fur balls. And I just wanted to say thank you as always for joining us. And I can't wait to see you next time.